I think they just got like black guys. One time I dated a Greek girl, yeah.
And I repeat, some white women do not need to date out of their race, knowing that 90% of their family and friends are racist.
Black people should never date outside their race.
When I was younger, I was dating this Chinese girl, and she had never took me to meet her family. She avoided it at all costs, like the plague. She was like, no.
If you are a white woman and you are dating, in love with, married to a black man, I want you to listen up.
If you are a black person and you are interracially dating, you need to stress to your partner that before they introduce you to anybody that is close to them, like family and friends, they need to tell those people that you're black.
I overheard my Swedish husband calling me a black monkey on a video call.
I think they just got like black guys. One time I dated a Greek girl, yeah.
I
dated a Greek girl. A mum and grandma are in the yard, bro, next to me. I'm talking this distance, bro, between me and you, looking at her, saying that they're going to disown her. Don't you ever bring a black person into their house ever again. And then they looked at me and went, good night, and walked off. I felt like that.
Oh my God.
Bro, right in front of my face. Right in front of my face. She's sitting next to me, crying, tears. They're saying, we're going to disown you. We'll disown you from this family. Do you never bring a black person in here again.
Lucky it was the mum and the grandma, wasn't it? If it was a dad.
If it was the pops, I reckon
he
would
would
have
have gone
mad.
mad.
Yeah.
No, I would have gone mad.
Well, you reckon you could have just gone rage on him?
No.
Just sparked him on.
Yeah, 100%, bruv. Like, you're just blatantly being racist.
Yeah. She was crying and she tried to defend me and that. It was mad. And I just thought, just like this. I just like, don't, just leave it. Yeah,
Fucked.
It's mad.
Fucked.
It's mad.
And I repeat, some white women do not need to date out of their race, knowing that 90% of their family and friends are racist. If you openly know the people around you are racist, do not date a black man, knowing you will not stand up to your family and friends against racism. If me being racist is me telling white women that don't stand up for their interracial couple is racist, then I guess that's what I am. But me, I'm going to speak up and hold white people accountable if there's an ignorant stranger, friend, or family, just like I always have. PSA, do not date outside of your race unless you are ready to combat racism.
Black people should never date outside their race. For safety, okay? Just don't. But when I first started dating this man, I've never heard him say the N-word at all because he's a Hispanic man. And I would say something like, he tricked me, trapped me, and now disrespected me. He's constantly calling me the N-word, and I'm always asking him, he's my ex now, and I'm always asking him to stop. When I asked this man to stop calling me the N-word, because we're just co-parenting right now, so sometimes we argue and stuff, and he calls me the N-word, and I always ask him to stop calling me that. And his response to that is that I'm ignorant. I have my other phone, that's what I'm reading. I'm ignorant because I don't live in a world where it's like that, sorry, where one race can say something so fine and fluently because it's got to do with your race, but guess what? It's adapted. Everyone says shit now, because why? They don't take motherfuckers serious, especially when there's ones like you who's trying to tell people you can't say it because of skin color. And then he gon' say Eminem ain't white but still says it, and you support him. Mind you, I never knew this. I listened to his music, but I never knew he said the N-word. I'm uneducated, my fault. I'm ignorant because he could say it. Everyone's saying it now. Oh, we're so wrong for not letting everyone say it. This man dead ass doesn't even just say if you know what I mean. The hard ER. Like, this shit ain't even funny. Like, how do people date outside their race? Because I am never doing it again. Ever. Because no black man would ever sit here and do all this.
If you are a white woman and you are dating, in love with, married to a black man, I want you to listen up. There are certain things that you need to know. And I don't think this is spoke about enough. But the most dangerous thing in this world are the tears of a white woman. And if you truly love the black man that you are with, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs, including protecting him from yourself. And what do I mean by that? My son was dating a white woman. My son is biracial. They got into an argument in public, and she started to scream and cry. And my son immediately left the scene. She was outraged. She couldn't believe my son left. My son left because my son knew that if he stayed there and this woman was crying and screaming at him, a black man, there was not going to be any questions asked. He was going to be thrown to the ground. He was going to go to jail. It was not going to be any questions asked because this white woman was crying and screaming about him. Now, I'm sure this female may have been hurt. Her feelings was hurt. She was a little emotional. However, when you are dating a black man and you're a white woman, you need to understand that sometimes your fucking feelings and your emotions have to take a fucking back seat to not cause harm to the person you are dating, that you love, that you are married to. And I'm not telling you that if you are truly in fucking danger, not to get help. But if you're just emotional, you're just pissed off, and you want to scream and hoop and holler, in public is not the time. Because that can turn out very deadly for the black man that you claim to love so much, whether you realize it or not. If you were just dating a white man and you were yelling, nobody would really pay any attention to that shit. But when people see a white woman and a black man and you're screaming, all hell will break loose. Because when white women cry, everybody responds. Even if the shit is stupid, even if it's frivolous, even if it's a lie. The most deadliest thing in this world are white women tears. I have said this time and time again, and I learned this very, very early in life. I grew up in the projects. I was raised by two wonderful black women that helped my mother raise me. So I know what I have witnessed, what I have experienced, and I know for a fact of what I speak. I learned very early in life that I could be a voice for my friends and my family because people would listen to me far more than they would listen to them. And if you listen to anything I have ever said to you on this app, if you are a white woman and you are dating a black man, you are in love with a black man, you are married to a black man, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs, even if it is protecting him from you. Handle that shit at home if you are not in danger.
When I was younger, I was dating this Chinese girl, and she had never took me to meet her family. She avoided it at all costs, like the plague. She was like, no, you will not meet my family. I was like, whoa, chill out, man. It's not that serious. We don't got to meet the family. It's quite all right. Now, this was not all right. She had met my family. She met my dad. My dad loved her. She met my mom. My mom was like, she cool. It was all fine and dandy. Then Thanksgiving was coming up. So I was like, perfect opportunity. Let me get this plan in action. Let's get things moving. I would love to meet your family. She said, I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. I'm like, listen, I don't make good ideas. I don't make good decisions. I don't do anything good in this lifetime. Good and evil are subjective. We got this in the bag. And I'm subjectively going to meet your family. Come on, let me do this. She said, all right, I warned you. So we get everything organized. It's Thanksgiving. I got my Sunday best on a Thursday. We moving. So I go through the door. In the instance, I felt like the energy of a Cracker Barrel hit my body. I was like, what's going on? I felt the racial tension immediately. I saw the grandma look at me and she gasped like, I was like, back at you. I gasped right back. I didn't know what to do. I had no idea how to react. I was like, we gasping. What's going on? The mom looked at me and said, and just walked away. The dad, stern dude, had glasses on, looked at me, said, Didn't say a word to me. Said something. He said like woman, shy show, something of that nature. I know it was definitely racially motivated because my girl said, don't mind him, as if I understood what he said. I said, what? What did he say? And she said, oh, I forgot. You don't speak Chinese. I'm like, yeah. What did he say? And they realized, like, collectively, they had like a telekinesis moment. They all could just talk mess about me in front of my face because I didn't know Chinese. So I sit down. I'm arriving. I'm looking around like, hey guys, how's everybody going? How are you doing? Then, as we're eating, getting everything set up, the table's all set up, wash my hands, they all look at me. And I take the first bite. They say, oh, and they all take a bite after me. I'm like, okay, interesting. Like I'm a specimen of some sort. And then they start asking me questions. They start saying, so, when are you going to impregnate my daughter and leave? I'm like, whoa, that's a crazy sentence. Mom started asking crazy sentences too. She started saying stuff like, she was like, how is it like wearing do-rags and living in poverty? I'm like, I don't live in poverty. Grandma started asking, hey, you know about the projects? I'm like, I don't know. Hey, what are you? Listen, I'm not a stereotype. I tried to explain that to them. They just kept asking more questions. The more I tried to not answer the questions, the more they asked the questions. They start asking everything. It says, so what is it, basketball? You jump high? I'm like, okay, all right. So I had to take a breather outside. And then the grandma comes out. She looks at me. I'm like, what would you like, young lady? What would you like? She says, black. She looks at me, says it right to my face, black. Walks back in the house. I'm like, after the dinner, we get closed up, and I say bye to the family. They give me the weirdest goodbye thing of all time. They just say, bye, and go upstairs. I'm like, cool. So I go to my car. I'm with my girl. And she's just like, I told you. And I was just like, that was beyond racist. That was so messed up. I don't know how to feel about anything. I don't even know if we can be together because they ruined the entire experience. And she said, it's okay. That's just how they are. I said, what? What?
If you are a black person and you are interracially dating, you need to stress to your partner that before they introduce you to anybody that is close to them, like family and friends, they need to tell those people that you're black. They definitely need to let them know. That may be problematic to some people. A lot of people will say, why does it matter? Race shouldn't matter. Yeah, in a perfect world. But the reality is a lot of people are still racist. And when you are dating interracially and your partner introduces you to people and they don't tell them that they're dating a black person, it's like a jump scare. They're going to be shocked, especially if you are the first one that they've dated. Now, the shock may not always be completely negative, but it's just like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. And it's going to take them a little bit of time to like adjust to it. So it's going to be that awkward period where it's just like, wow. So you don't want to be put in that situation. Not only that, they need to tell the people around them that you're black, because if they don't, if the person does have biases or they're racist, then your partner just sets you up to be in a very uncomfortable and potentially dangerous environment. So yeah, your partner needs to have that discussion with their people ahead of time. And if they have negative reactions, they should not introduce you. And that gives you a chance to reevaluate things and think, do I really want to be with somebody who associates themselves with problematic people? Just like, if I was in an interracial relationship, right, I would tell my family, hey, my man is white or whatever. And if they get to talking crazy, me and them gonna have a conversation about it. It's a jump scare. It's a jump scare for a lot of people, especially older people. And I hate that it has to be that way, but that's literally just the way it is. Like, if you've never dated outside your race before, and you do, and you bring them around your people, you telling them about your significant other, they're expecting one thing, and then you bring back the opposite. Everybody's going to just be taken aback a little bit, and it's awkward for your partner to go through that. So yes, tell your people. Now, it shouldn't be weird like my black girlfriend or my black boyfriend or my white. It doesn't have to be anything like that, but be like, hey, I'm going to introduce you to my significant other, just to let you know they are of this background, and I want you to be respectful and not make this interaction weird. Don't say anything crazy. Just be mindful of the things that you say and you do. So yeah, if you are, but especially for us, because things can get dangerous for us. So you need to stress that to your partner, because if they don't, they're doing you a disservice.
Absolutely, yes, I'm treated completely different when I'm with my white husband versus when I'm on my own. I hate to admit it, but this is the honest reality. And I just want to tell you a story time. And it's a story that I think about at least once a month. And that truly illustrates the length of this problem. And this happened to me in England, living in a place called Basildon. So it's important that I give you the context of where it happened, but without saying too much because I don't want to get sued. But it's in a popular retail shop on pretty much every high street. Most people that I know don't buy stuff from there because it literally disintegrates as soon as you get home. It's the sort of place that if you needed socks for one night out, you would buy it, you run in there and get socks. I needed to go in there, and my husband, he refuses to go in there because he hates it so much. He's like, even if you need socks, like, it's better cost for wear if you just buy them from somewhere good, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I just needed socks and I wasn't really trying to spend that much. So I was like, okay, you know what? Why don't you go and grab a coffee? I'll go in there and then I'll meet you once you've grabbed your coffee. So I go into this shop, which I think a lot of you will know now, and I'm looking for the socks, right? And because I don't go in here, I don't know where they put their socks. So I'm looking, and I can feel I've got an entourage behind me. I'm not worried. This is part of the Black experience. Like, I'm used to having an entourage of following me in shops, but like the irony of somebody on me around the shop thinking I'm going to steal something from this place, when I'm thinking, like, if anybody between me and you is going to be robbing anyone, it's going to be you. Like, it's just ironic, but this is, like I said, this is part of the Black experience. And yeah, this guy is putting pressure. He must have been new at this job because he wanted to really show, like, he can, he was really, like, really, really behind me, putting pressure. So I just keep it moving. I'm like looking for my socks. And then my husband calls me and he's like, where are you? How come it's taking so long? I was like, you know what? I can't find the socks. And guess what? Like, I'm being followed by security. And okay, why don't you come in? And if you know this shop, it's usually so big that it has multiple exits. So I was like, why don't you just come in? We'll find the socks and then we'll go through the other exit together so that we're near the car park. So he reluctantly agreed. And then we put the phone down. And then I can feel, it's like somebody's piercing the back of your neck. I could feel him, but like I said, this is part of the Black experience, so I'm used to it by now. So I'm walking around looking for my socks, and now I have to explain to you exactly where it happened so you can really understand the gravity of this situation. So let's imagine there's like a corridor, and then there's another corridor going perpendicular to it. So it's like a T-junction. My husband was coming from this side and I was coming into like almost the wall there, and then I was going to turn left. And then this guy was behind me, pressuring me. I thought he was going to rugby tackle me at any point. Anyway, he's pressuring me. So then I walk normally, like, I'm tiny, guys, and this helps with the story. I'm 5 foot. My husband's over 6 foot, and this guy was tall as well. I'm walking. I turn left. I see my husband, like, serendipitously. I'm like, oh, and then he's like, oh, did you find what you were looking for? This security guard and my husband, they lock eyes. The security guard gives him a nod, almost apologetically, and says, oh, and then walks off, as if to say, now my association with my white husband or this white male now means I'm no longer a risk. I'm no longer fitting the profile of the thief, the dirty thief they were looking for in this specific retail shop. This is not like the most dramatic of all experiences, but I think there's something powerful about the quality of the shop, right? First of all, the quality of the shop, the fact that this guy was tailing me like an FBI agent for about 5 minutes, and just one little glare from my husband's green eyes was enough to validate my existence in that, guys, the lowest quality shop you can think of in England for clothes on the high street. And the reason why I especially love this experience and why I think about it all the time is because after that day, and I thank God for this experience because it was a blessing in disguise, after that day, my husband really got to know what the Black experience is. And I never had to explain anything to him. When we would travel, like, around Europe, Italy, like, he was now aware of these situations that were otherwise invisible and otherwise so subtle that unless you know what they mean, you would think that this person is paranoid and it's crazy. So, and also it allowed us to talk about it because we were both involved. And the way that this guy nodded at my husband, like my husband was so offended. He was like, why are you nodding? Like, it was a crazy situation. But yeah, so yeah, all in all, absolutely, it's terrible and horrible to admit. But yes, I definitely noticed the difference between how I'm treated by myself and also how I'm treated with my husband. But equally, I've also seen how my husband's treated, and then when they find out his wife is black, how that changes, and sometimes that's positive, sometimes that's negative. But I don't think that says a lot about us. It mostly says a lot about the person who is changing their behavior based on what their perceived value of our race is. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that story. And if you are in an interracial relationship, and I know a lot of black women are now divesting, these are some of the things that you do have to you might love somebody with all your heart, but if they can't connect with you on that level, you know, that could be make or break of a relationship. If they can't ride or die with you in the black experience, then that could be make or break.
I overheard my Swedish husband calling me a black monkey on a video call to another woman. You might be wondering why I'm sharing this story, but please, this is to all my black queens out there, all my African queens out there. Please, you need to watch this video, learn a thing or two from this video. If you are thinking of dating someone who's not same race as you, please, I'm begging you, do your research. Don't think that because they are interested in black queens doesn't mean that they're not racist, because you will be surprised the kind of treatments some of our black queens are suffering in silence behind closed doors. I'm one of them. And I'm sharing my story for you to learn and do not repeat exact same mistake as me. Story time. So I met this guy on a dating app. I was living back home. This guy was, we chatted, and all of a sudden he said that he's interested in me. He wants to marry me and he wants to come to my country. He did the paperwork and he was granted a visa. He came to my country to visit me. This guy seemed like a nice gentleman. Then he returned back to Sweden and he started the paperwork, the process for me to come and join him. Eventually, I was granted, so I joined him. When I got there, the first few months was like our honeymoon period. Then after that, I started noticing patterns of bad behavior, abusive behavior, verbally and physically. I was wondering if this is the same guy that I was chatting to online, the same guy who came to visit me back home in Africa. I didn't know why he would get angry out of no reason. Then he would call me names that shocked me. I didn't believe it. I never thought once this guy would call me such names. He would beat me black and blue. I covered up for him. I don't know why I never spoke up. Maybe it was a fear of me being sent back home. So I kept quiet. I endured. We've got one child together. The abuse got worse and worse. I later on found out that this guy tried to date women, Swedish women, but no one would date him because this guy has got a history of being in a mental institution since he was a young boy. He claimed that his parents did stuff to him, but he was smoking stuff. I can't name them here because of TikTok. He went ahead to start abusing our daughter physically and verbally. This got too much. I finally got help and we moved out. I moved out with my daughter. I filed for divorce, but he refused to sign the paperwork. So we are still legally married. Some of my stuff are still back there. So he tried to take full custody of our daughter, but the system refused him because of his history of being mentally unstable. This guy would sit on social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, chatting to African queens, the ones that he calls monkeys. He'll try to befriend them, ask for their personal number, then he will ring and talk to them. When he sees that they're not having it, he starts getting aggressive. The last thing I heard, he was dating one of our African queens who lives in Greece. This woman is seeking asylum there. And guess what? he's found his next prey, someone that he would abuse just like he did to me. This woman will sit on live stream with him. He will embarrass her. I'm talking about insult her like a kid, shouting at her, telling her all sorts of things. And this is a woman that you've not even married yet. And this is the attitude he's displaying. They got engaged. He planned to go out there to go visit the woman, and they will start the paperwork process. And guess what? I think the woman saw through him and said she's calling off the engagement. He got really pissed off, calling her another black monkey. He calls me Ashawo, the black monkey Ashawo, who is sleeping around with the black monkey men. So if you're watching this video and you are looking to date someone who is not same color as you, please rethink it. Don't think that because he's marrying you or interested in you, he's not racist, because some of them are the racist ones, the pure racist ones who hide by using married to a black queen as they are not racist. But I can assure you they are. So please do your research before actually getting into something serious with people like that. You can imagine being married to someone who isn't mentally right, who has been in a mental institution since he was a young boy. He's had issues with the police, social services, and yet this guy comes online to lure our black queens, to make them think that he's a genuine kind guy. He's not. He's a monster. He's a demon. You might be wondering how I had this conversation. I went back to drop our little girl because he has got joint custody. I've still got the keys to the house that we used to share, living together. I entered and I heard him. He was on a video call. And you know, video call, you can hear everything pretty much. And he's calling me names. A black monkey who is sleeping around with my black monkey African brothers. So this is very deep. And I'm telling you, please, be careful. Do your research. Some people end up being stranded or their lives being taken in these countries where no one has got their back. So if you're thinking of this, please do your research properly. Make sure you've got a backup plan. I'm not saying that all of them are like that, but please do your research. But most of them are not right up there. They are not right up there.